The Trump administration is briefing members of the House right now on the showdown with Iran. The president's national security team will then brief the Senate in the next hour. This as Democrats have expressed alarm over an escalation in the region, saying America cannot afford another war.
This is a time to try to find a way to negotiate an end to this conflict before both countries get dragged into a war that almost nobody wants.
If we are trying to reduce terrorism by Iran and other countries, let us do it thoughtfully, not impulsively.
Cowboy diplomacy did not work in Vietnam. Cowboy diplomacy did not work in Iraq. Cowboy diplomacy will not work in Iran.
However, Republicans are rallying behind the president's decision to take out Iran's top military leader, the mastermind behind numerous attacks on American troops and others in Iraq and beyond.
It was the right thing to do when President Trump gave the command to take out Soleimani.
This was a defensive strike against a terrorist.
The president is not taking us to all-out war.
The president made it very clear, if you would kill an American, we will respond directly, and we did.
I want to bring in Republican Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa, a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator Ernst was also the first female combat veteran elected to the Senate and served in Iraq and Kuwait. Bragging on you a bit there, your experience we're going to lean on today. Great to see you.
Yes. Thanks, Harris.
First of all, the briefings have begun, the House now. The Senate is next. What are you anticipating? What questions do you have?
Well, certainly I am not focused on the past because I do believe that the president did the right thing by taking out General Soleimani. We know that he was the #1 organizer of proxy terrorist groups all around the globe. And so I am very thankful that the president took the steps that he did. What I want to do is lean forward a little bit and take a look at the strategy overall now in the Middle East, how we keep an eye on Iran, how we stop them from obtaining a nuclear weapon, and how we stop them from participating in other terrorist organizations and asymmetrical warfare, which they have been very good at in the past. They have crossed the red line, and the president responded to that crossing of the red line. Now we want to see where we go from here.
Why do Democrats seem to see it only as a binary choice with war? Certainly that conversation's going on today on Capitol Hill.
It is a scare tactic that is being used by the Democrats. There are so many other methods that we can use in making sure that we keep Iran contained. And they just want to jump to that conclusion, obviously, because they don't like the president. They don't like the president's actions. So what we want are answers from the top security team that is advising the president
Senator,
on where we are today and where we go.
In all fairness, when, we took out Saddam Hussein, war did ensue. So if people look at this and they put a tapestry over the past and look to the future, some do have legitimate fears that we might not have an end game. But this, when you fold in the economics of what's going on inside Iran, the president mentioned energy today. There's a whole lot more to the mix that gives us some leverage, would you say?
Yes, I would absolutely say that, Harris. There is so much more that we can be doing through diplomatic channels and, of course, with additional sanctions as we look at energy, as we look at the resources they need in Iran. There are many, many things that we can be doing through other types of economic channels. This is a very different situation. And I would say that the president has operated with quite a high level of restraint. And we saw this in Syria as well. War didn't follow in Syria when we pushed back on them crossing a red line.
Senator Joni Ernst of the great state of Iowa today joining us ahead of her big briefing that's coming up, classified, no doubt, on the intelligence behind taking out Iran's top general. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Harris.